Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and we have the next summonable LR. I'm telling y'all right now, I really do hope that Dokkan takes a little bit of a breather from these summonable LRs for a couple months. They did last year. Last year, after the 250 million download celebration, there were no LRs until December on JP. I'm hoping that we get the same thing, because, man, LRs back to back to back to back every month like they've been doing is very, very rough on your boy. But this LR is insanely good. They're stupidly good. They're definitely a top 10 best unit in the game. They're probably closer to, like, top 5, top 6 best unit in the game. I'm already seeing people kind of undervalue just this version right here, right? To where before you use the sort of exchange mechanic to go into Android 16. But, like, no, dude. They're a unit that could bust out, like, a 3 million attack stat, and they're giving 40% attack to the rest of the rotation. Like, they're ridiculous. Also, another thing I love about this card is the fact that Android 18 has a different outfit in every single one of, like, all three forms. I do actually really like that. Okay, so let me just quickly level them up, and we will go ahead and awaken them to LR. They're pretty easy to awaken to LR. You have to just do a bunch of MVP 17 medals. Then, of course, there is also the Android 16 Super Strike medals, and then the Android 18 medals from the story event, right? Now, another thing I do have to mention is that as an SSR and a TUR, they're actually just called Android 17 and 18. So they do share the same name as the OG LR Androids, the AGL one. So you can use them to raise their super attack. Now, I did 200 multis last night, 200 friend summon multis, and I got 2 copies of the LR Android, so I just said F it, and I just actually gave them Elder Kai's to after those 2 copies, because it's like, yeah, I'm not doing this. It's so annoying doing friend summon multis, because, like, all those end cards, you can't bob us. You got to go through and sell them. It's a very tedious process. I really wish they would add the option to sell or baba from the summon screen. I mean, this is obviously something to just appease the whales, but I mean, whales are the ones putting the most money in the game. Like, that would be an amazing update to just be able to auto baba like everything you get from a multi would be very nice. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and level them up. Again, they are at 55%, by the way. I do actually, oh, that's a spoiler, whoops. But I do actually have 1 dupe for them, but we're just showing them at 55% in the dupe system, right? I've actually been pretty badly shafted on their banner. Like, I got 2 copies in 1,800 stones, I think. And then the next, like, 2,200, I haven't gotten another copy of them. So, you know, here we go with the shaft. What's new? That's all happens to your boy. Let me level him up, get him the SA20, and we'll test them out. Alright, guys, so we're here on the Android team. Now, it is interesting. You can definitely do a couple of things here, right? Because this unit, they are an Android category leader. The LR Androids have 150% and 4 key, and then 17 he gives 3 key and 170% to attack. But I don't know, like, you're probably better off maybe running 117 as leader, or maybe a friend 17. You actually, nah, I mean, you definitely want to run a friend Android. So, like, I don't know, like, I almost think, like, running, like, a friend Androids, maybe 17 as your leader would be the way to go. Like, look at, just this team is so crazy. They're such a nice support type unit. They're going to give such a buff to a lot of these units. Like, I don't know. The 2.93, that said? Oh, so he's going to one-shot him. I didn't expect that. Yeah, so when people are saying that, again, because I've seen a lot of people say it already, when people are saying that the androids are underwhelming, like, look at that right there. Like, MVP 17 was at damn near a 3 million attack set right there. Like, do you know why? It's because the LR androids. That's why. Okay, this is not great. We actually have a whole bunch of blast attack units right here, so we're actually not going to be able to do anything to our boy 17 right here. So we're going to bounce across a couple of different teams, right? Remember that the androids, they do also have the exchange mechanic, or switch mechanic, swap mechanic, retreat mechanic, whatever you want to call it. It's not really too big of a deal. It's all pretty much the same thing, right? But they are able to utilize that, and then we can bring out Android 16. And Android 16 is honestly pretty insane, because he does have 200% attack and defense. Keep in mind that because he has such a monstrous attack number, B-Pan will like legitimately give him like 2 million extra attack. It's insane. Like B-Pan gives him such an insane buff. Okay, so this time we're actually going to get to see the androids actually attack. Our boy 17 got a little bit too rowdy last time. So I don't know. We're definitely not going to be able to use the active skill, I don't think, going up against a 17 boss fight. We would if there was a Cell enemy. So let's see what the androids, 55%, double support type unit here, 2.81. Like, that's 55%. Like, people are trying to say that's underwhelming. People are saying that is underwhelming right there. 2.81 million, and they're giving 40% attack to the whole rotation. Like, I don't know. Again, Gohan and Cell are good, but I like the androids a lot better. A lot better. Now, sure, even, I don't know. I think Gohan and Cell, like, they're, like, the absolute pinnacle upper heights of what they can get. Well, maybe not Cell, but, like, I don't know. Maybe they can, like, Gohan for sure can hit harder than 16, but, like, 16 is just going to be so damn consistent because it's just 200% attack and defense. Boom. You're good to go, right? Like, whereas, you know, Gohan, you still got to get crazy orbs all over the field. And then for Cell, it's the same thing, right? Cell hits pretty lightly for a Rainbow LR unless you're getting a ton of orbs. As you get all those orbs and his passive, like, they multiply, passive multiplies into itself, then Cell starts doing insane damage in his transformed form. That's why, like, on a scale, like, Cell could do as little as 3 million damage or as much as, like, you know, 6.5 based upon what happens. All right, so we'll finish off right here with them getting an attack, and then we'll move over to another team. We'll definitely go over to LR Gohan and Goten's team, and we'll probably look at them on the Android/Cell Saga team as well. 17 is going to lower attack here, doesn't he? That's annoying. Yes, he does. Okay, even with the attack lowered, so they dropped down to 2.39, so I think they would have been somewhere in the 2.5 range if their attack did not get lowered. But again, that's still ridiculous, and they lower attack too, and they have a chance to dodge. Like, they're just so insane. They're such a good unit. Alright guys, so we're on the Android/Cell Saga team now with the new LR Androids. The Androids were definitely a massive power buff for this team, and this team definitely did need them. Now, the Androids are strong enough, I think, that you can just run them without other Android units or something like that. But, I mean, they do work pretty well, actually, with LR Cell. Now, again, we're shafted that LR Cell does not have shocking speed. It's ridiculously stupid. But the androids do give keys, so they'll be okay on a rotation with this cell if you want to go about that. Now, as you guys can see, normally, you can't actually use their active skill to bring out Android 16 unless your health falls below 66%, I believe. When that happens, you can use your active skill. And you know, you do have to have other Android category allies on the team, but I mean, on a lot of the teams you're going to run them, you would want that, right? But if you're going up against a Cell enemy, you actually can get them to activate their like active skill at any point going up against a Cell enemy. So that's why we can use the active skill right now, even though we have not fallen below a certain amount of HP, right? Now, again, the difference between Gohan and Cell and the androids, because the androids have an HP restriction. Number one, theirs is not nearly as insane as Gohan and Cell's, right? I mean, Cell has to be under 30% HP, which is absurd. And then Gohan has to be, you know, below 59% with an Android 16. It's just so much, right? Whereas these androids, they're still ridiculous, stupid, just like before they active skill. So that's like a huge thing. Okay, so we have a full cell rotation, whatever. This rotation isn't important. It's this next rotation. I'm going to go ahead and use the active skill. We're going to bring out Android 16. Now, I believe Android 16 will still link up with himself because of the way, like, these transformation units and exchange units work. Like, they just end up linking with every character no matter what, right? So this is going to be a pretty good rotation because 16, Int 16 that is giving the 50% attack buff because Gohan is on rotation. Again, let's also activate Android 16 here. Oh, well, it's an active skill, so we might as well get the volume up as well, huh?
やるじゃないか。16号。
戦う時が来たのだ。孫悟空と出会う前に。
All right, so 16 is here again. Like that it's just so cool. Like 16 walking up the way he does is really, really badass. And yes, he does indeed link up very well within Android 16. That's another reason transformation and, you know, exchange units are going to be so valuable. Like, you know, again, if, like, think about it like this. If we really get a transforming Vegito, base form Vegito, you know, maybe turn 1, he immediately goes Super Saiyan, he'll link up with AGL Super Vegito or Physical Super Vegito. He will. Like, think of how insane that's going to be. Like, that is going to be, like, another one of the most hype units ever in the game's history, because he is going to be a perfect linking partner with, you know, everyone loves AGL Vegito and Physical Super Vegito. And then, like, that would just be so insane. Like, and that, again, that I do think we're going to get that. It's going to be very interesting to see. So, okay. Let's see what our boy 16 is going to do. Again, he's linking up pretty well within Android 16, I believe. Plus, we also have AGL Gohan on rotation, so Int 16 is going to be giving the 50, or yeah, he's going to be giving the 50% attack buff. I'm going to use a shoe item right here, because I do want 16 to be at his full key. So remember, this is a 55% Android 16. He's going to do a lot here, because he's going to do a guaranteed additional super. He has a 50% chance to crit, 200% attack and defense. 16 is going to look very impressive. So this in Android 16 becomes such a just strong unit next to LR16. All right, so what do we got? 55%, 3.97. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good enough for me. Bye, Cell. Later. And then, oh, wait, you thought we were done, huh? No. I actually do like his 12-key super attack better. The Hell Flash right there, like, that's just such a cool ending right there. And he does also lower attack right there. So, I mean, 16 is just a wild boy. I don't know how else to say it. I actually think he is very, very spectacular. And if you think that's really impressive, wait till we get LRB Pan on rotation with him. That's where things are going to get a little bit interesting. So, the only issue with 16 is you do only have 2 turns with him. You don't have him for long. At the end of his second turn, he does bounce. He's like, all right, well, later. See you later. I'm out of here. So, you know, sort of keep that in mind. I guess we'll keep going in this fight until 16 leaves. We'll see how he's going to work next turn. Next turn, we won't have Gohan on rotation, so Int Android 16 will no longer have his 50% attack buff, right? So without that buff around, we'll see what number Android 16 is capable of getting. Again, I've seen Android 16 get as high as past 7 million, but that is with LRB Pan, and you have to have a copy of the TUR of the Android 17 and 18 together. That's just not very realistic, right? Because, again, only now am even, like, I'm the biggest whale in Dokkan. Only now am I able to, that's going to be the next meme, by the way. But only now am I able to even rainbow, you know, LRK and Khalifa, their TUR and their SSR. So, you know, it takes a long time to be able to rainbow or even have, like, an extra copy of the TUR. And no, already the fact that I'm over 4,000 stones. Oh, here, actually, I'm gonna let's see what they say when 16 leaves here. Wait a minute, 16 didn't leave. I thought, oh, he did. Oh, okay. So because a phase changed, it skipped the animation. But he did leave. It's now back to 17, 18, and 16. But yeah, you know, after 2 turns, 16 does basically say, all right, later. So, all right, let me hop back in. We're gonna do it on the Gohan and Goten team, and this time B Pan is gonna be able to get down and dirty with 16. All right, guys. So we are going up against our boy Cell-Chan. Let's go ahead and bring Android 16 in. Let's get that JoJo menacing on screen. Oh! Yo, this is so simple, but I love... Oh, man, is 16 badass in this, man. Just him walking up like that, that is cool. See, like, that shows, like, that's so basic, but, like, come on. Like, that it's really badass. So, like, that just goes to show, like, what craziness, like, there really could be from some of these active skills and stuff like that. So, again, Android 16 gets a 200% attack buff at the start of turn. B-Pan works best with units that have massive buffs like that. So B-Pan is going to send Android 16's numbers way up. I imagine he's going to be at 5 million here. And that's, again, we could have the TUR androids in that first slot rather than 17 if I had a copy of them. Okay, 4.99. That's basically 5 million. Free dupe 5 million. That's pretty good. We'll take that. And again, since we're going up against an Android/Cell Saga enemy, 16 actually did have a second super attack coming, and he has a 50% chance of performing a crit. So, like, 16 he's ridiculous. Like, let's be real here. I have not decided yet what I'm going to do for him. I'm probably going to give them full additionals, because, like, it's going to help out in difficult events with the actual androids themselves to double lower attack and defense, right? Sure, that takes down their damage potential a little bit before they, become 16. But I feel like that'll work well, and then that would maximize, Transform 16's abilities for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I think the units are definitely going to output more damage with crits than additionals, because even though you are going to see Android 16 a lot more often than you would the Transform version of Cell or Gohan, you still have an HP restriction that you have to hit, and the HP restrictions, sometimes you're not always going to hit it. Like, you're just going to dominate some of these events, so just keep that in mind. But, okay, so we saw a good amount of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at their details now. Alright, so this is the Android's Journey, Android 17 and 18 / Android 16. So, of course, very good that their name is like that, so you can still use the old LR Androids, even though they're not really too great. But, this is fine. Their leader skill is the Android category 4 key and 150% of stats, and then they also give extreme physical 4 key and 100% of stats. So in case y'all did not notice, they upped the leader skills of these units. This is the exact same type of leader skill that like LR Tech Broly has and LR Baby has, but they upped it to 150% rather than 130%. That's very, very good. It would be so awesome if Broly and Baby also gave 150% across the board. Man, would that be incredible. So looks like these summonable LRs that are going to be now 150% leaders across the board, that's just so very good. Because, like, one reason I recommend free-to-play players to kind of stay away from summonable LRs a lot is because even though they are some of the best units in the game, it's not often that they are, like, a great leader skill unit as well, right? But, like, the androids definitely count. LR Goku and Frieza was a unit that counts. I mean, really, you could say Baby as well and Broly. I mean, Baby, his team is just insane. Like, Baby's team, like, when Baby's team gets a 170% leader, that team is going to be one of my favorite teams. It's going to be crazy. So their 12-key super attack is the Bloody Crash, which does colossal damage and lowers attack and defense. Then their 18-key super attack is the Triple Annihilation, which does Mega Colossal and then lowers attack and defense, so very good. Their passive skill, the Android's True Might. They get 1 key and 78% attack and defense at the start of turn. The 1 key is a little odd, but it's fine. They have a medium chance of evading enemies' attacks when HP is 66% or more. The medium percent chance is a 25% chance, which is, it's nice that they have it, but that's not something you can rely upon, right? I think there's a massive difference between a 50% chance to dodge and obviously a 25%. Cool that they've got it, but not the most reliable, right? And then Android categories get 2 key. Android category allies get 2 key and 40% attack, which is, it's just silly. Like, that's a summonable LR that has that ability is just wild, absolutely wild. Their links are Infinite Energy, Android Assault, Rival Duo, Shocking Speed, Soul vs. Soul, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Links are very good outside of that damn Soul vs. Soul. You take that off, and they're a lot better off. I mean, I don't know what to give them instead of that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that could be the Shocking Speed spot. Then 16 could still have Shocking Speed, and then they replace, the other Shocking Speed with something. I don't know. But Soul vs. Soul, very annoying, very annoying. They have the typical multipliers of an LR, summonable LR, 150% 12 key, 200% 24 key, right? And then finally, they're on 4 different category teams. So they're on the Android team, definitely their best team. They're over here on the Android/Cell Saga team, where they are buffed for that team. I still would like some sort of support type unit for that team, though, man. Like, if there was a 40% attack and defense 2-key unit for the Cell/Android Saga, that would be huge. It really would. They really need it. They're over here on the Joint Forces team as well, where, I mean, I guess you could use the 2 androids as a rotation. You know, maybe I'll try that out. I'll try out an updated version of the Joint Forces team. You know, I now do have, like, Kale and Khalifa's LR, TUR, and SSR rainbowed, so I could try and check out. I mean, that Joint Forces team quietly is like a top 5 team in the game, but I feel like people don't really talk about it too much because Kale and Khalifa are only 130%. Oh yeah, they're another one of those leaders too, by the way, like Baby and Tech Broly, and then Trunks and Mai are like that as well. And there's probably another one I'm not thinking of. And then finally, they're on the Sibling Bond category. Now, the Sibling Bond category is where you're going to get the highest attack stats for both the androids and Android 16 because of LRB Pan's presence on the Goku family part of leader skill of LR, Gohan, and Goten. So keep that in mind, but the Android team will be where they will have the most impact, I would imagine. And then, of course, they do have an active skill. They are an exchange mechanic unit. So what they do is they will exchange with Android 16 for 3 turns. So basically, you get 2 turns of actually using Android 16. It can be activated when HP is 66% or less with 2 or more Android category allies on the team. So, oh, it's with another 2 or more. Okay, so you have to have 3 Android category allies on the team, I guess, essentially, you could say, to be able to use their active skill. That's not a big deal, because on the Android/Cell Saga team, the 2 cells, and then, obviously, this LR would activate it. The Android team is going to be full of those units anyway. And then even, like, the Siblings Bond team, I mean, you could have MVP 17, and then maybe you could slide in some other Android 18. It's definitely possible, like... Or if you've got the LR and the TUR, I probably would recommend people feed in the TUR into the LR. I always recommend that. Only Kale and Khalifa do I think is like the TUR really good enough, and the LR is already good enough that like maybe you feed in the first dupe to Kale and Khalifa, then the second dupe you could either open up their left path or keep the TUR. But for this Android, I don't know. Their TUR is very good, but I probably would say feed in at least 2 dupes first before you keep a copy. I think that would be the smartest thing you could do. And then we're not done here. And then you could also activate the active skill at any time if you're facing an enemy whose name includes Cell. Characters such as Cell Jr. are excluded, and you could do it only 1 time. So against any Cell enemy, they will go ahead and transform, which obviously is pretty cool. So then you get Android 16. Again, you get 2 turns of using him, basically. He's out for 3 turns, but you're only going to be able to use him for 2 turns. So the differences is his super attacks, his passive, and then 1 link changes. Unfortunately, Shocking Speed, I don't know why they took away Shocking Speed from him, turned into Tough as Nails. I guess that doesn't hurt him too bad because he does give himself a lot of ki, but it's still annoying, right? So his 12-key super attack is the Hell Flash, which greatly raises defense for 1 turn, does colossal damage, and lowers attack and defense. Then his 18-key super attack, Triple Annihilation Max. He greatly raises attack for 1 turn, does mega colossal damage to the enemy, and he sacrifices 6% HP. Honestly, him sacrificing HP is not really a big deal because you're only going to get 2 of these super attacks anyway. So it's not that bad, and it is kind of worth it for the ridiculous amount of damage he is going to be putting up. Then his passive skill, Mysterious Power Revealed. He gets 6 ki and 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. He also has a high chance of doing a crit, which is 50% chance. And then he gets a guaranteed additional super attack if there's an Android/Cell Saga category enemy. 16 is wild. And then lastly, again, the change with his links, Shocking Speed becomes Tough as Nails, which is booty. So he has Infinite Energy, Android Assault, Rival Duo, Tough as Nails, Silver Soul, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. But there we go. There is the LR. Very, very good LR. A very fun LR. I like this unit 50 times more than I like Gohan or Cell. Easily. It's not even a discussion for me. Way, way better designed. Way more impressive. They're just, like, better in every way. Like, LR Gohan I think he has, like, a ceiling that's higher than Android 16, but it's really tough to get to that. Whereas 16 comes out and he has 200% attack and defense. Like, and he gives himself 6 ki. So you're not really going to encounter issues with consistency with Android 16, whereas Cell and Gohan, even after they transform, if you get unlucky with orbs, Gohan and Cell, they're good, they're really good, but they're not best unit in the game level. And Android 16, if things broke right, you know, he is putting up enough damage. He's not going to out-damage LR Gohan and Goten, I don't think, no way. But he is really high up in damage, and he is really good in defense as well. I mean, I'm curious what, like his stats, like, he's going to be at, like, you know, 200k defense, like, especially at the Rainbow level. Like, he's not going to be taking damage. So, these units are very good. At the same time, even though I've sucked the unit off the whole video, I don't recommend summoning for him, because it's an LR banner, and those are very bad value for most players. So, thanks, guys, for watching. Let me know what y'all think of the androids, and I'll catch y'all next time.